Hello and welcome to our program. Let's start with a wonderful thought for the day. It's by an anonymous person and it goes as, a few bad chapters doesn't mean your life is over. Men and women in uniform have always held a very special place in our hearts. So please join us in welcoming on our show today, DG BSF Shri K.K. Sharma. Sharmaji, welcome to the program. We started the program with a very wonderful thought, but I'm sure that as all people who have really excelled in their fields and reached the top of their careers, you also have a very deeply spiritual and a centered side. And I think as we go higher, the centering keeps us grounded. So how do you start your day?
Gauraji, there are 5 principles which I remind myself every morning. 1, I am responsible. I am responsible for everything in my life. 2, I live in the moment. That every moment of the life is important, and if you make that moment count, then your whole life becomes worthwhile. 3, I am not this body. I am something more than this. I am also not this mind. I am beyond the mind.
Beautiful.
And finally, I am like mother to the universe. I don't think ill of anyone. I love everyone, nature, animals, and human beings are at the top of the list.
Right. So these are very wonderful thoughts, and I think somewhere we also understand that playing the role that you do, the uniform that you wear, and the job that you essay, how does spirituality keep you stronger? Because do you at some time see a conflict with what you believe to be the right way and some things you need to do for your duty?
There is no conflict between the two. If in my course of duty, if I have to fight the enemy, I will. I have to fire a bullet at him, I will, because that is my duty. And the universal good is there at the back of my mind.
Okay.
And that is how I function, and there is no conflict between the two.
Right, wonderful. So talking of the BSF, did you know many years ago when you were wondering at the confluence of your life to say, this is the career that I want, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to become. Did you think that you'd be sitting here like this one day?
Not really, but BSF had always attracted me as I belong to the Rajasthan cadre of IPS.
Okay.
IG BSF at Jodhpur used to be a very powerful and very important person.
Okay.
And a number of IPS officers of Rajasthan cadre have been IG Jodhpur. So, as a young SP, we used to interact with them, and I used to feel that one day I may join BSF. It's a wonderful force. And it so happened that I joined as an IG and then became a DG here.
So what really is the mandate of the BSF?
BSF has got both peacetime and wartime roles. During peacetime, the first and foremost duty is to instill a sense of confidence in the border population that come what may, in any difficulty, BSF is there to provide them security and give them help. Secondly, we are supposed to stop any kind of criminal activity, smuggling, etc. On the border. And finally, any illegal migration is these are all very important tasks, all 3 of them. And in wartime, army will come to the border and we will be assisting them. So, we have a different set of rules and different role. We will be providing, we will be the guides for the army, we will be, securing prisoners of war and maybe administering enemy territories which have been occupied by us.
Because you know the ground position very well.
That's right, that's right. So, then we will have a different kind of role.
Right. So, when we talk about the first line of defense, I think the border security force is the first line of defense for India in many regions.
There is a misconception in the minds of the people that it is the army which is guarding the border, but it is the border security force which is actually guarding the Pakistan and Bangladesh borders. on LC, line of control, which is a disputed territory, Army and BSF both are deployed, but south of Chenab River, the entire Jammu, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat are with BSF alone. This is the international boundary, and the entire Bangladesh is with us. So, it is the BSF which is guarding the Pakistan and Bangladesh borders, and therefore, we call ourselves the first line of defense, and the Honorable Home Minister Shri Rajnath Singh ji calls us the first wall of defense.
So when we see the terrain, whether it's Jammu, whether it's Punjab, whether it's Rajasthan and even Bangladesh, so the challenges are our relationship with the countries on the other side. They are different, and the terrain is also so different. So how does the BSF handle these challenges?
From the snow-capped mountains of Kashmir to the riverine gaps of Jammu and Punjab to hot deserts of Rajasthan to the marshy lands of Gujarat, we have variety of terrain and the related difficulties. But I must say that BSF is a highly professional and very well trained force, and we are trained to face all these difficulties. And secondly, you have very rightly put, we have two different borders and two different countries, whereas the Pakistan border is not so friendly, and we have to be prepared for the worst. They keep on trying to infiltrate, they keep on sniping at our men, they keep on digging tunnels to cross over to India, they try to smuggle narcotics, they try to smuggle arms and ammunition. So, we have to be very, very alert and ready to meet any challenge.
Right.
On the other hand, Bangladesh, we have a very friendly government in place today, and we have excellent friendly relations with the border guarding force of Bangladesh. Therefore, the difficulties are not that much so far as relations are concerned, but again that border has got its own peculiar problems of smuggling and illegal migration.
So, this whole bit about trying to manage not only the machine, not only the men, but also the local population, and it's very important to have a strong cadre of good officers with officer-like qualities. How easy is it for you to maintain this quality of morality and morale?
To begin with, I will say that BSF is a very highly professional and very well trained force.
Right.
And we are very strict disciplinarians. If anybody does anything which is not correct, then immediate action is taken, and we don't tolerate any indiscipline at all. The local population, we are very friendly with them. We have a number of schemes to befriend the local population. As you might be aware that on the eastern border, some of the areas are very remote, and the state government doesn't have medical facilities and schools and other things.
Right.
So, we provide medical help in a very big way to those far-flung areas. Then we are interacting with the local schools, provide stationery, computers, sporting equipment to them from time to time. Of late, we have started training the local youth, both boys and girls, for recruitment in armed forces, paramilitary forces and the police. We are also imparting skills like driving and carpentry and electrician's job to provide them some skill to get a job. And we are also at some places identifying children with mental disabilities so that they can be given some help through some NGOs. And you see, the whole idea is to convey that BSF is there to help them for anything, and employment being a very important aspect of one's life. This is what we are trying to do. In fact, we are in the process of introducing yoga also in our interaction with the civil population. We plan to teach yoga to the border population.
Right. Talking of yoga, I think the BSF is actually literally marches ahead of all other organizations in terms of the quality and the amount of people who engage with yoga in the force.
You have very rightly put it. Today, BSF is the reigning All India Police Champion in yoga for the last 2 years in both men and women category. We have a very large trained force in yoga. We got some people trained at Patanjali Yog Peeth in Haridwar. Some people have been trained by the Isha Foundation of Sadhguru in Coimbatore, and now we are getting some people trained by the Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhan Sansthan in Bangalore. So, with the help of these yoga institutions, we are training trainers who in turn are imparting training of yoga to a very large force of almost 250,000 strong.
Right. So, we also in this program sir, have a yoga capsule or anything related to fitness. So, for this morning we are going to see how the BSF keeps itself mentally alert and physically fit. Let's take a look.
योग गौरवमयी प्राचीन भारतीय संस्कृति का अभिन्न अंग है। इसके नियमित अभ्यास और जीवन शैली के प्रमुख घटक के रूप में अपनाने से कई शारीरिक और मानसिक व्याधियां दूर हुआ करती हैं। इसकी लोकप्रियता का आलम यह है कि संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ ने दिनांक 21 जून को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस के रूप में मनाने की परंपरा प्रारंभ की है। योग की उपादेयता को ध्यान में रखते हुए बल के शारीरिक प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रमों में इसे शामिल किया गया है। इस निर्णय के सकारात्मक पहलू उभर कर सामने आए हैं। इससे बल सदस्यों की मानसिक शक्ति और एकाग्रता में बढ़ोतरी तो हुई ही है, अवसाद का स्तर भी गिरा है। बल ने उच्च योग प्रशिक्षण हेतु इस क्षेत्र के पतंजलि योग विद्यापीठ सरीखे प्रतिष्ठित संस्थानों में अपने प्रशिक्षु भेजे और वहां से प्रशिक्षण प्राप्त ये योगार्थी विभिन्न स्तरों पर बल सदस्यों को प्रवीण कर रहे हैं। ये सिलसिला निरंतर प्रवाहमान है।
Do you also do yoga, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay, regularly as a practice?
Do yoga and pranayam as a regular practice.
Right. So एक बात हमें बताइए, हम सब बहुत वो कहते हैं ना वर्दी वालों के डिसिप्लिन को बहुत एडमायर करते हैं और निजी ज़िंदगी में हम स्ट्रगल करते हैं कि हम डिसिप्लिन कैसे लाएं। चाहे कोई एक्सरसाइज रेजिमेंट शुरू करनी पड़े, चाहे प्राणायाम करना पड़े, चाहे वॉक करना पड़े, चाहे जिम में जाना पड़े। मेंबरशिप तो मिल जाती है, बट वो जो नीयत है ना वो बदलती रहती है। डिसिप्लिन कैसे लाएं अपने जीवन में?
आई एम रिस्पॉन्सिबल।
लवली। आपका पहला वो जो रूल है।
Whatever is happening in my life today, only I and I am alone responsible for that. I can't blame anyone else that I could not get up because my wife did not let me and things like that. No. It is my decision. If I have to get up, I will get up and do it. This is what discipline is. That you do something which you have decided, and at that particular time when you have decided, and in a particular manner in which you have decided. All three things have to combine in order to.
Right. So सिर्फ एक किसी जिम की मेंबरशिप लेने से फिजिकल फिटनेस नहीं आती, योगा क्लब की मेंबरशिप से नहीं आती, समय अलग रखने से नहीं आता. I think it's so important that when you decide, you have to inculcate because you're responsible for yourself.
Precisely.
Very beautiful. So again, coming back to the border security force, so engaging the community is a very, very important aspect because you're the ear to the ground, all the intelligence gathering, everything which subsequently feeds into different channels happens with you, and yet you have to police and be with the people जिनके साथ आप रहते हैं. तो ये संतुलन आपके लोग कैसे लाते हैं? इसकी ट्रेनिंग मिलती है?
हाँ, आप ये कह सकती हैं, बिकॉज वी हैव बीन परफॉर्मिंग दिस ड्यूटी for the last more than 50 years, and over a period of time this balance has been evolved, and I'll be very happy to say that whenever there is a natural calamity, BSF is the first responder in the border areas. You have floods in Assam, Bengal.
True.
You had floods in Kashmir. We were there.
Right.
Similarly, at Kedarnath ji, when the floods came, we had a adventure school in Dehradun. They were the first one to reach there, and they saved hundreds of lives by timely relief and rescue operations.
Right.
And that's why they were called Devdoots, and the government of Uttarakhand felicitated BSF for such a wonderful job there.
God bless.
So over a period of time, we have developed a relationship which is special with the local population.
Right. So training your men for sensitivity, I think somewhere this whole bit about, because now the interaction with the local population across the services is happening more and more, and I think somewhere how a soldier, any soldier, sees his or her duty, that is also evolving. So the sensitivity angle is also, some training is carried out?
Yes, I would like to briefly talk about the training.
Right.
BSF takes training very, very seriously. Everybody would like to go to a training institution in BSF because you get a fixed tenure of 4 years, you can keep your family there, you can educate your children there. Consequently, this is a very important assignment.
Okay.
We post only the best to our training institutions. And who is the best? A person who has himself excelled in training and has secured not only the first position, but also instructional grading. Only that person is posted to a training area. So the very fact that you are posted in a training area gives you pride in yourself that I am the best, therefore I am in a training institution.
Right.
Then you get 30% extra, which is given by most of the institutions, but the very fact that the best go to the training.
So it's a prize posting,
yes,
and you want to work
yes,
towards that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So training is important. In fact, the most important activity in BSF. We have a number of modules which teach the values of human rights, how to deal with women and children, illegal migrants. These things are very systematically taught to our men and officers.
Right.
And I am very happy to say that BSF has got a special place in the hearts of the local population.
So other than the armed forces, the Army, Air Force and Navy, which have a very strict curriculum and a regimen for really hard combat training, there is also a growing concern, I think, within the other paramilitary organizations and organizations like BSF and CRPF and CISF, which are, well, other than the CISF, which is not doing a very hardcore military monitoring role, that somewhere in terms of actual tough combat training, the emphasis is less, and it's more on the higher side, the softer side, the more intellectual side. And finally, when push comes to shove, it is a battle ready force. That's what we want. So is there a skew there happening?
I don't see any imbalance, at least in border security force.
Okay.
We are ready for any challenge from the operational point of view. In fact, you can see the results for yourselves. Recently, we had a Fidayeen attack in Kashmir. Normally, a Fidayeen attack means that the casualties on your side are very high. In our case, we neutralized all 3 Fidayeens with only 1 casualty of a brave ASI on our side.
Yes.
This shows the kind of operational efficiency of the force. But the other aspect, the softer side which you say, is also very important in a force. To my mind, the welfare of the Jawans is very, very crucial for maintaining the morale of the force. And here, BSF is taking a number of new initiatives.
Okay.
And I'm sure no other force has done it so far. One is financial literacy. We have been educating our Jawans and officers in financial matters, how to invest, where to invest. We tell them to save money in smaller amounts every month, systematic investment plan.
Right.
We tell them to save it for a long term perspective. And finally, we tell them to save it, to invest it in Nifty index fund. Nifty, as you know, is comprised of top 50 companies of the country valuation wise.
Right.
And in a way, it represents the entire economy. So all these 50 companies cannot go bust at the same time.
Right.
And if one or two is not doing well, then someone else who is doing well will become part of it. And you will always remain invested in the top 50. Therefore, your money and investment is safe. And if you become part of this growing economy today, then in the long run, since our economy is going to go up, they are going to reap very good, rich dividends out of it. So this is one thing. Then we are also, making them conscious about their health. We are spreading yoga in a very big way. We provide telemedicine to people who are in far-flung areas and medical facilities are not available. We are amongst the first CAPFs to start telemedicine centers. Then another important aspect, a Jawan is always worried about the education of his children. BSF is providing free online coaching to the wards of BSF Jawans and officers.
Okay.
In fact, this facility is being extended to the poor people of the local border population also.
In the community itself.
In the community itself.
Wonderful.
There is an online coaching system by the name prepmantra.com.
Okay.
And they have started a separate portal, www.bsfprepmantra.com, where my men, they go and register themselves. A separate ID and password is created, and their children can get access to the online coaching system. From class 6 to class 12, medical entrance, engineering entrance, banking competitions, railway competitions, up to civil services, the online coaching is free.
Wonderful.
And I am very happy to say that 70,000 of the BSF children are already taking advantage of this scheme.
Right.
Then we have our own insurance policy. We contribute 500 rupees every month, and we get 40 lakhs for a combat casualty and 30 lakhs for a normal death. And the entire premium which has been paid by the person will be returned to him when he retires. So this is something which is unique.
It's a tailor-made policy for the force.
Yes, and we are managing this thing ourselves. Earlier, the premium was more than double, and we were not getting this much. So by doing it ourselves, we are giving more money to our men. So these measures have created a sense of confidence in the minds of Jawans, and the morale has gone up.
That's wonderful. So when we talk of a force of this proportion and this size, and I'm sure there are challenges also, what are some challenges?
We are modernizing our border guarding, as we feel that the future of border guarding lies in the use of technology more and more than increasing the manpower. We are in the process of implementing a comprehensive integrated border management system, where we are integrating the existing gadgets and technology with whatever is available all over the world, the latest, and take a common feed to the border outpost, and on a monitor which will be manned by 3 to 4 men round the clock. We will be in a position to see if any intruder is trying to come or some crime is taking place, and we will respond immediately and neutralize the threat. Today we are in the patrolling mode of border guarding. My men guard the border from point A to point B and point B to point A. But after the introduction of CIBMS, we will be in a position to shift to the quick response system. My QRTs will be waiting for something to happen, and it will be the technology which will be guarding the border.
Wonderful.
So this is the,
and our casualty rate also is likely
certainly
to
it will certainly come down, and the level of security will also increase, because humans have some weaknesses. I can't see beyond 100 meters in a dark night. I can't listen beyond let's say 100 meters in a windy night. So the equipments, for example, a handheld thermal imager is in a position to see up to 3 kilometers into enemy territory, whether some living creature is coming towards us.
Right.
So use of technology is going to increase in the force. This is our main initiative. Then of course modernization in terms of better equipment, better weapons, better vehicles, these things are also taking place side by side. These are the operational things which we are ready and prepared to deal with. I once again say that BSF is prepared to deal with any situation.
Coming into any uniformed force is always a matter of pride for many young people. But when we go down to the grassroots level, I think कहीं भी किसी भी वर्दी में भर्ती होना एक बहुत बड़ी बात मानी जाती है. यहाँ तो गांव है जो प्राइड से कहते हैं कि हमारे इतने बच्चे आर्मी में हैं या BSF में हैं. तो कहीं ये जो हम भर्ती की बात करते हैं, आज से काफ़ी समय से ये भी चलता आ रहा है कि भर्ती के साथ एक और शब्द है जो करप्शन जुड़ा हुआ है. BSF ने बहुत सारे मेजर्स लिए हैं, सब कुछ ऑनलाइन किया है, डिजिटल किया है, पर आई थिंक इसकी जो एडवोकेसी है, प्रोपगेशन है आम जनता में, ये आई थिंक कहीं ये जो मिथ तोड़नी बहुत ज़रूरी है कि अब भर्ती में गड़बड़ नहीं हो सकती क्योंकि सिस्टम्स इतने स्ट्रांग हो गए हैं. आई वुड लाइक यू टू एड्रेस दिस.
BSF अपनी भर्ती खुद नहीं करती
जी.
है. हमारी भर्ती SSC स्टाफ सिलेक्शन कमीशन के द्वारा की जाती है
जी. और
इससे ऊपर के लेवल पे असिस्टेंट कमांडेंट्स की UPSC के द्वारा भर्ती की जाती है. तो BSF डायरेक्टली इन चीज़ों में इन्वॉल्व नहीं है, लेकिन SSC और UPSC के जो अपने सिस्टम्स हैं वो बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं और बहुत अच्छे हैं. और मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि ये जो करप्शन की बात है ये सही नहीं है, और कभी कोई कोशिश होती है तो दे आर ऑलवेज कॉट एंड पनिश्ड.
और आजकल आई थिंक ये सारे जो भी फीडर इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं या फोर्सेस हैं जो ले रही हैं भर्ती करती हैं, आई थिंक सिस्टम्स को टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ इतना जोड़ दिया गया है और ट्रांसपेरेंसी आ गई है. तो आई थिंक कई लोग डाउट्स में आ जाते हैं, बातों में आ जाते हैं और वो मिथ फैलती रहती है. एंड आई थिंक समवेयर बिकॉज द सर्विसेज by and large are clean places, you know.
Right.
And I think that tainting of that image is gets a little worrisome. But so do you have a way of ensuring that a certain quality of people only come in? Because I think the pool from which people are coming in, educational qualifications are increasing. More and more qualified people are coming at the Jawan level also across. So is that posing a challenge also for man management?
In fact, we are getting much better quality than we used to get earlier.
Right.
Most of the Jawans today are graduates, and some of them are even postgraduates. Invariably, people who get selected at the level of sub-inspectors and assistant commandants are with very good educational qualifications, and they are all tech savvy. So we are getting more educated and better tech savvy boys at all levels. We make them soldiers by training, and as I said in the very beginning, training is very, very important in BSF, and we mold a normal person into a soldier by our training.
Right. So what about post a career in the BSF? Do you also look at some future opportunities post retirement?
In fact, we have taken up skill development in a very big way. We have entered into an MOU with the Ministry of Skill Development.
Okay.
And we are in the process of training our retired people as well as people who are about to retire in a skill of their choice, so that post retirement they get a gainful employment, and they are also in a position to train others if possible. In this line, we are actually training yoga trainers
Okay.
in BSF so that they can be gainfully employed later.
So it's like another second career opportunity.
Because I feel that yoga is becoming very popular and people may start having a personal trainer for themselves.
Okay.
And here, if you give a trained workforce, they will be in a position to get a job.
Right. And in terms with of spending time with their families, do you have, is the proportion increasing? How does the Jawan's morale, because now with the coming in of the telephone, the Jawan is not far away from the family. So you're sitting right at the border area, but your mind could be in your village somewhere way behind.
We were worried that a Jawan who is away from his family for months together and is in a position to visit only thrice in a year is a serious problem, particularly with those who are recently married. So we started a Atithi Grah for the constable level.
Okay.
And this was a temporary measure to begin with. We had about 13-14 rooms earmarked for this purpose. But later on the government has also sanctioned each battalion one Atithi Grah.
Okay.
And 1 crore has been sanctioned for each battalion. Now we give preference to people who are newly married. They can bring their spouse and keep them for a longer period. And we have tried to be a bit liberal. If somebody wants to live outside, we give him outliving permission also.
Okay, right. BSF का आज की चेंजिंग सिनेरियो में मीडिया के साथ कैसा रिश्ता है?
मीडिया के साथ में हमारे बहुत मधुर और अच्छे संबंध हैं
जी।
जैसा आप देखती हैं, BSF is in the news for all the right reasons.
Right.
मीडिया इज़ ए फ्रेंड एंड तो मुझे ये कहते हुए खुशी है कि BSF के बारे में touchwood.
Yeah. So media, like everybody else, is made up of all kinds of people and all kinds of sources. So
media is very good for spreading your message.
True.
For the general people and for your own force.
Do you have some kind of a attractive program for second generation or third generation people wanting to come in? Is there a special allocation because that encourages loyalty or area wise? Because I think somewhere this whole bit about building institutional character also takes time and sometimes generations.
Unfortunately, there is no such reservation. You see, the entire recruitment is governed by certain rules and regulations.
Right.
And it is not possible to give preference to the children of our own men.
Right.
That is not possible.
Okay. At a personal level, so what inspires you? What keeps you motivated? What tells you every morning that you get up and आप ये नहीं बोलते ओह for एक और दिन, and you say wow एक और दिन?
I am very positive in my life. I try to help others as far as possible. Force, of course, it is my duty. Even a layman, if he comes in contact and he is in trouble or wants some help, I am there to help him. So this eagerness to do something good and positive keeps me going all the time.
If you were not a uniformed officer, what would you have been?
Maybe a judicial officer. I am a first class law graduate from Delhi University.
Wow, okay. So law is your area of interest.
Yes.
So हर एक I think force के लिए उसका raising day बहुत important होता है. So what is the sanctity of the raising day for the BSF?
Raising day for BSF is on the 1st of December every year. BSF was raised on the 1st of December in 1965. after the Pakistan war, it was realized that the state armed police forces were no match for the regular army on the other side, and therefore a need was felt for raising a professional border guarding force on the lines of army, and therefore BSF came into existence.
हम सीमा के प्रहरी हैं, हम सीना तान खड़े, हम भारत के गौरव की बन के पहचान खड़े.
This day is very, very dear to our hearts. It is celebrated with very pomp and show. We have a ceremonial parade. This year's parade, I mean, the salute will be taken by the Vice President of India.
Okay.
And for the at-home function, the Honorable Home Minister is the chief guest.
Okay. So, and I think it's, I think जन्मदिन है.
जी.
और जन्मदिन तो हमेशा खुशी और उल्लास से मनाया जाता है. तो एक और चीज़ जिससे हमें हमेशा खुशी होती है, whatever the mood, is music. और हमने ये भी सुना है कि आपकी म्यूजिक में रुचि ही नहीं, आप गाते भी बहुत अच्छा है.
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
सबसे पहले बिफोर वी रिक्वेस्ट यू टू हम अ लिटिल फॉर अस, आपका ये इंटरेस्ट म्यूजिक में शुरू से था?
बचपन से. वो तो जब आप पैदा होते हैं तभी से आप अपने पेरेंट्स को देखते हैं कि वो अपने वक्त के म्यूजिक को सुनते आते हैं, तो आपको तभी से इंटरेस्ट होता है
जी.
और उसी तरह से मुझे भी पुराने गाने से लेकर के अब तक के, हालांकि अभी के जो बहुत फास्ट म्यूजिक है वो मुझे कम समझ में आता है
जी. तो आपका कोई फेवरेट सॉन्ग?
कई हैं, लेकिन जो एक मैं गुनगुनाता हूँ वो सचिन देव बर्मन साहब का है
जी.
मेरे साजन हैं उस पार, मैं मन मार हूँ इस पार, ओ मेरे माझी ले चल पार, ले चल पार, मेरे साजन हैं उस पार. मन की किताब से तू मेरा नाम ही मिटा देना, गुण तो न था कोई भी, अब गुण मेरे भुला देना, मुझे आज की विदा का, मुझे आज की विदा का मर के भी रहता इंतज़ार, मेरे साजन हैं उस पार.
आपके लिए स्पेशली सही ये गाना.
ओरे माझी, ओरे माझी, ओ मेरे माझी, मेरे साजन हैं उस पार, मैं मन मार हूँ इस पार, ओ मेरे माझी अब की बार, ले चल पार, ले चल पार, मेरे साजन हैं उस पार, मैं मन मार हूँ इस पार, ओ मेरे माझी अब की बार, ले चल पार, ले चल पार, मेरे साजन हैं उस पार. मन की किताब से तुम मेरा नाम ही मिटा देना, गुण तो न था कोई भी, अब गुण मेरे भुला देना. मन की किताब से तुम मेरा नाम ही मिटा देना, गुण तो न था कोई भी, अब गुण मेरे भुला देना, मुझे आज की विदा का, मुझे आज की विदा का मर के भी रहता इंतजार, मेरे साजन हैं उस पार, मैं मन मार हूँ इस पार, ओ मेरे माझी अब की बार, ले चल पार, ले चल पार, मेरे साजन हैं उस पार. मत खेल जल जाएगी, कहती है आग मेरे मन की, मत खेल, मत खेल, मत खेल जल जाएगी, कहती है आग मेरे मन की। मैं बंदिनी पिया की, मैं संगिनी हूँ साजन की। मेरा खींचती है आंचल, मेरा खींचती है आंचल, मन मीत तेरी हर पुकार, मेरे साजन है उस पार।
So commanding people and leading people is a very, very inspirational job. And more than a job, I think the BSF is like a family, and you're heading and leading that family. I think it would be a wonderful thing if you can just give out a message to your people on this day.
सबसे पहले तो मैं अपने बहादुर जवानों को, अधिकारियों को बधाई देना चाहूँगा कि उन्होंने पिछले 1 वर्ष में बहुत अच्छी तरह से अपनी ड्यूटी को अंजाम दिया। हर तरह के चैलेंजेस का बहुत अच्छे से मुकाबला किया। हर फील्ड में, चाहे वो स्पोर्ट्स हो, चाहे ऑपरेशनल एफिशिएंसी हो, सब जगह पे बीएसएफ का झंडा ऊंचा रखा। और मैं उम्मीद करूंगा कि आने वाले समय में भी वो अपनी ऑपरेशनल एफिशिएंसी को, अपने स्पोर्टिंग प्रोग्रेस को बनाए रखेंगे। आई विश देम ऑल द बेस्ट।
हम सब की तरफ से भी सब बहुत बहुत बधाई बीएसएफ को, आपकी पूरी टीम को, पूरी फोर्स को। Thank you so much for coming on to our show. It was wonderful speaking with you, sir.
Thank you, Gaura ji.
Thank you so much for joining us on our program today. As always, we look forward to your feedback. Do write into us at aajsavere@ddkdelhi.org.in. Thank you once again. Till next time, namaskar.